I want to talk to you about our new album, Chalkboards, War Against Erasers, due out on August 20th. As the name implies, the album as a whole is sort of an attempt to give a voice to those that will be erased. That's artists included, self included, and ultimately the only thing that we leave is our legacy. And considering that most of us are average people, a lot of us don't ever get the chance to leave a mark, and a lot of us are brought into this world as chalk is kind of like there for your time and context, and then when that's no longer useful, gone forever. And so this album is sort of, as it says, the fight against being erased forever.
This reoccurring dream I seem to have every night, that all of a sudden I'm standing under a spotlight and I can see the first 3 rows and they are not quite impressed with my first act. Yeah, this has got like way more strange than the dream I had last night. I was a professional something just like a past life. Tonight the crowd seems anxious for action.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Oh, sweet. So second act is the first song on the album. It's a story about a reoccurring dream where I'm just blowing it on stage. And it's kind of reflecting the insecurities that one would have embarking on recording an album. Sort of self-doubt, and but at the same time knowing that, you know, there's people out there who might actually care and want to listen, and so we're sort of, this album is for them. The song itself was written in Cosmo's basement initially, by yours truly. It's one of the few songs on the album that I actually did have a writing credit to. Really simple, 3 chords repeating, and then just kind of builds. When we went into the studio, our engineer Isha Erskine had some really cool insight on some ways that we could kind of beef it out, and using the Yamaha Grand really helped that out a lot. And yeah, I think that song turned out pretty cool. So the next song on the album is Special, which has been in our repertoire for about 2 years now, and finally we got it down the way I think we had intended it to sound. Lyrically, it's about the realization that, you know, a lot of kids born in the 80s and 90s were brought up to be told that they're special and unique and a beautiful, delicate snowflake, and it can be really disheartening when one realizes that that's not actually true. You know, you're not as necessarily important as you once thought you were. However, that's not a bad thing, because at the same time, like, you might not see yourself as being like a unique flower or a unique entity, but at the same time you see everybody else in the same light.
Santa Cruz, California, we give you Eliquate. Well, it didn't take long. Come on. What about the new feel special?
So musically speaking, Jamie had written the initial chord progression and the initial structure of Special, and then once we kind of brought it to the band, it mutated into this glorious band endeavor that sounds really heavy, and we just kind of wanted to establish right off the bat in the beginning of the album that, like, this album is sort of a tribute to, not a tribute to mediocrity, but an appreciation for the majority population, which is people in the middle, hopefully.